All right. Well, a little dramatic at the end there. I'd like to see us finish business, but I think you have to give a lot of credit to Baylor and Coach Aranda getting their team to respond. We knew that would happen. I'd like to see us play a little different in the second half and finish what we started, but you just can't just wish that upon the game. You know, this is the Big 12 conference, so guys aren't going to quit, and they're capable of putting points on the board really quick. And we just got some stops at the end, and unfortunately we made some mistakes, and we got to learn from all those. But I think we can play better football. But I was proud of the team, proud of the way the guys respond, their response to adversity and within the game, and their willingness to stick together. That was something special. It speaks to the leadership on our team and the coaches on our team that get these guys ready. So I have to give a lot of credit to Baylor, making it interesting at the end. They could have easily just folded up, especially at the beginning. But you have to give them credit for being resilient, classy program. It was nice for us to join in their prayer at the end of the game there. And I've seen them do that when it works in their favor and when it doesn't. So that's something special. We have a lot in common with them, and I wish them the best of luck for the rest of the way. Fans were amazing today. It was awesome, awesome environment, and just really fortunate that we were able to get this win, especially with some of the mistakes that we made. But like I said, I think it was a hard-fought game, a little dramatic at the end, but I'm glad that it worked out in our favor. So, what questions do you guys have?
What changed in the second half that caused that adversity for your team?
Yeah, I thought Baylor played a lot more assignment sound, and they created some turnovers, and they made things really tough on us. I think you have to give them a lot of credit for that. But I think we made some mistakes along the way too. Defensively, guys not lining up correctly and then not doing their assignment. But that's hard to just say that when I thought Sawyer made some tough throws and some. I mean, he was accurate in some of his throws. Just some of them we had coverage on him. The one I think was where we dripped off of the coverage, and but he had a good feel for the game and good feel for what they were trying to get done. I'm just glad that Jay was able to mix it up a little bit at the end, and we were able to get confuse him and get some pressure on the old line, which I think caused that holding call. But just glad the guys we get the win. I wish Jack would have caught that ball. That would have been easier on my heart, but and on Jay's heart too. But like where we're at, and like that we able to respond. It's interesting because there's a lot of guys that were playing in the end of the game that we had to rely on in the last drive against Wyoming. That didn't work out their way, and then we put them in extra time against towards the end of the game against Kansas State. And they got stopped, and those guys got to stop here. So it makes me happy that we actually practice these situations, these tight situations with 2 minute and everything. So we'll continue to work on those situations for next week. And we do have a bye, but it's a work week still for us. We just don't play a game. That's the only difference. So we got to still get back to work, and we got to improve on all the things that we saw that we could definitely that are fixable. But I thought the guys played; they were resilient. It was a lot. It was a lot of fun. It was a really cool game.
What did you see on Crew's interception to seal the win?
Yeah, I think if he read his eyes and was able to go and high point the ball, I mean that I think it's a really good throw. We saw him make those throws before, and I thought Jay had the right scheme called at the right time. I think they were looking for maybe a too high safety look, and Crew was able to get over the top of it. So great instincts by Crew, and he's hit us with those plays down the sideline earlier in the game, and I'm glad that our defense was able to respond, and Crew was able to make that play.
Kalani, it seemed like you had more injuries today, guys going down in the other 4 games combined.
Yeah.
What do you attribute that to, the heat, or what was it there?
No, I mean I think the turf is always a problem, but that's everywhere. That's not just that's just turf games are hard, and I think they're hard on your body. So got guys banged up, but we knew that going into it last year that injuries can happen, and then it's conference play, so it's a lot more intense. It's a lot. I mean, it's tough, especially at the line of scrimmage, and so this game's not an easy game. It's a violent one, and unfortunately, people do get hurt. We had some guys get banged up and weren't able to finish the game. We're going to evaluate those guys and see how it looks for the future. But I'm proud of the guys that stepped in. The guys that got banged up still were on the sideline, still leading, still had a lot of energy and juice. And so this is a close team. These guys, even though guys weren't able to play and were hurt, they were in it. They were in the moment on the sideline, creating energy and belief. It was a lot of fun.
How did you think the offensive line played after Connor went out?
thought they played good. I thought Makasini stepped in and did a good job at center, and it was good to have. Last week we played Bruce Mitchell at guard. A lot of people didn't know that he was in there, and Austin Leusa and Sonny Makasini weren't able to go, and then now we got those guys back, and unfortunately Connor had to come out of the game, and then we moved Makasini inside, played center, and Bruce played a little bit too there, so we kind of rotated some guys in, but I thought they played a really strong game against a really tough defense.
Did you get an explanation from the officials on the unsportsmanlike conduct call?
No, I was probably too busy yelling. I don't know if I listened. It's hard. Listen, when I start yelling, I don't listen to anybody. So I thought it was an obvious flop, and we teach our guys to be smart in that situation. I don't know. I lost it. I just don't think you can call that call right there in that situation. Especially we're trying to grind the clock out. I think we got 5 yards on the first run. It was looking in our favor, and then they marched us 15 yards back. I just had to let the refs hear it. I think it was a bullcrap call, but that's okay. They're not perfect. They're human too, and I'm not either. So that's why I yelled at them. So I'm sorry that I lost my cool, but I think they understood it, But I just didn't, we just got to be smart. We shouldn't put ourselves into that situation. I can't blame the refs. Our players got to be smart in that situation. Just get away from any kind of dangerous moment. But that's we got to do better. We got to do better, and then I just can't lose my cool. It's all right, but it felt good to just unleash a little bit of anger.
How impressed were you with the start? 3 drives, 3 touchdowns right out of the
Yeah, that was a great start. Just like we're capable of doing all those things. We just got to keep the momentum going. I don't think we have to be perfect. We just have to be efficient and effective as an offense and defense. And when we start playing together, good things happen. But again, you have to give credit to Baylor. They were resilient. They should have won the game last week. It was easily their game. And a lot of unfortunate things happened. And then this week they had a slow start. We were jumped ahead, and luckily we were able to get enough of a lead to get the win at the end. But I was a little nervous, when you're up by 6 in that situation. But the players made me feel at ease, man. I was getting a little tight, The players are all talking positive and convincing me, and after I got done with my yelling, I was like, all right, let's see what's going on in this game, and we made plays and got the win. So, the players are right, man. I'm proud of the players and their belief in each other, and just everything towards the end. The leadership was amazing.
Two more questions.
What does that say about the cohesion and the chemistry of the team when that's how they respond to adversity in these tough moments?
Yeah, leadership. I think guys say, well, this is a different team than last year's team, but yeah, the guys from last year's team, they spent a lot of time getting this culture rolling. You know what I mean? So the guys like Eddie Heckard and the guys that are not here, AJ Wangpachong, and all those guys that were part of that team, those guys were a big part of how this team is playing right now. And so it's a tough thing to say that when we just got to make sure that those guys get our thanks and appreciation. But these guys on the team currently, they're the ones that stepped up and took to heart everything that they learned, and then the sense of urgency to work out and get better, and then never settling. Right now, I know there's a lot of guys, and they all agreed with me when we talked at the end of the games in the locker room, just like, we know we can do better, we know we can clean it up, and it's really the fundamental part of the game. It's literally just getting down and just making sure that we are all accountable to our 111th. If we can do that, good things will happen, just like it did today. I think we did it enough, but man, I just do it all the time. You know what I mean? I'm just being greedy. So if we can do it all the time, my job will be a lot easier. But that's what I got to do. I just like the feel and the vibe from the team. It's a fun team to coach, and I freaking love these guys, man. We're having a lot of fun, and it's crazy because in that tense moment, I had guys behind me just having so much fun with it, and it just took me back to like playing the game when I was a little kid. I felt like I was part of that, So. Hats off and credit to our players for just being good examples to me. It's awesome.
Is there one more question?
What's the latest update you can give on Connor? We saw him on crutches.
Yeah. Well, I think we'll have to evaluate it, and we'll see what happens. I'll probably have more to say on Monday. It's hard for me to speak too early right now. Let's review it, and then Monday I'll give you better answers on that when I can. And this medical stuff, I don't want to just sit there and make statements that I don't know anything about.
All right, thank you, Coach.
All right, thanks, guys.